Hello, and welcome to the next episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast. Today is your July monthly message from the universe, and it's an exciting day at Spirit and Soul. First of all, it's an exciting time in general because if you're listening to this in real time, Rebecca Campbell, who you know we love, this is our queen. She has come out with her new oracle deck, the Healing Waters Oracle. It is incredible. So, perks of being a shop owner. I had the opportunity to start working with the deck. We did a little sneaky peek and used it. We couldn't sell it, but used it for one of our circles that we had done for summer solstice. So everybody can kind of start getting a feel of what the deck is about. And I would have to say that this is one of her most beautiful decks yet. I mean, I love the Rose Oracle, and we used it multiple times in many of our, monthly messages from the universe. But this one is just, I mean, it's rivaling it for sure, if not just a little bit higher. I love the Rose Oracle, and I connected with it, and I connect still with it so much. This one is just, it's beautiful. It speaks to me on a different level because water is one of my like elements. Okay. That's like one of my power elements. So, and if you're not sure what that is, what a power element is, before we get into the message, I think it's important to have an understanding of that. So there are some elements, and think of all, not just earth, air, fire, water. Okay. Think of all of the different elements. It could be, like sun, it could be like the heat, it could be, wind. Like think of it in this format. Okay. What lights you up? What brings you to life when you are like outside in nature? Is it like sunlight? Is it water? Does that like rejuvenate you? Is it like being next to a fire, right? Is that something that rejuvenates you? Is it being out in nature? Is it your feet in like lush green grass? Like whatever that thing is for you, what gives you that feeling inside that just like completely replenishes you? That is a great sign that that's one of your power elements that you can tap into, that you can start to understand so that you can really utilize it to the best of your ability. Like I know that when I need, and thankfully I live on Long Island, so I'm surrounded by water, but if I need to feel like a certain sense of calm, or like I need to release something, or I just need to be for a moment, I know I need to be in water. Like if I want to like take that one deep breath in, that cleansing breath for me is by the water. It's looking visually at water. I don't have to jump into the water, but I have to be near it. I have to see it. I have to be in its presence and like absorb its energy. So of course, the Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell is something that is like really, really speaking to me in a big way. If you feel the same way, if there's just something about the water for you, you're going to resonate with this deck. And when we really look at water, and I just read, oh my gosh, what is the name of the book? Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name. I'm going to have to look it up. But I just read this book that was absolutely incredible. And it was all about, it was The Secret. Shoot, why am I drawing a blank on this? It was The Secret. Hold on, I'm looking in my Audible right now. Hang on. I have to look at my library. The Hidden Messages of Water. Okay, that's what it was. The Hidden Messages of Water is such a good book. And it talks all about how water is such an incredibly important part. Like we know we need water to survive, right? But how it holds memory and all of these different things, that when we sit back and take a moment to understand water a little bit more, we actually deepen into the energy a little bit more. And that's what this deck is really aiming to do. And of course, in Rebecca Campbell style, it is beautifully done. Okay. So Let's get into your monthly message from the universe. The first card that came up is the wellspring. Okay, the wellspring. So what this says in here is, what are you thirsty for? Body care and take a breath. So when I read this in the accompanying book. It was really talking about understanding exactly what you need. And what immediately came up for me was this: is that the summer feels like such a divine masculine time. It feels like a go, go, go energy. It feels almost like you don't go within as much. Like winter is such a going within time, right? It's such a let me focus on me. And summer is more of I almost think of it as like the ego. Like it's like the time for the ego, right? And when we're doing this, when we're in that go, 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 because we feel like we only have a couple of months to enjoy this beautiful weather. So we're going to be doing this and we're going to be doing that. And it's hot outside. And the kids are off from school and I want to get this, I want to get them outside as much as possible. And like all these things, we are truly not going within to see like, what exactly do I need? Do I need to be like running all around town, going to a million barbecues, or do I need to sit out in my own backyard and just allow myself to be, right? Or to be recharged, replenished, maybe in your power element. Maybe your power element is the sun or the wind or whatever it might be, right? So what is it that you need, and starting to identify it on a soul level. This feels very soul level to me, not so much of like, what am I doing in my daily routine type of, or I don't want to say daily routine, but how am I not reflecting what my soul needs in my daily routine? Am I making time and space for me? Am I getting outside? Or am I just like encumbered by all the things that the kids want to do, have to do, all the fun that they want to have? And kind of looking at that and reevaluating, like, how am I not making time for me? And what is it that I exactly need? Is it that you need a moment for yourself to like go do some self-care, like go get your nails done or do something like that? Do you need a little mini vacation? Does a mini vacation feel like way too much work for you? Sit with all of these things and asking yourself, what do I need? Because in the moments of go, 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 and sometimes we do have to be like that. And I feel like summer is one of those times where we may feel like that. Stopping to ask yourself what you need is truly something we don't do. And it's like really necessary, because what comes up next is the water carrier, which says what really matters: reflect and reprioritize. So what do you need to reprioritize right now in order to truly feel good about the season that you're in and to feel good about the things that you're doing? Like I always tell everybody this: if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. Like I live by that. If it's not a hell yes, it is a no. And I'm going to say 99% of the time. There are some times that I will do things because even though it's not feeling like a hell yes, I know that I, either have to be there, but I don't ever make that like I have to be there. I don't make that like the ongoing thing of my life. Do I want to be there? Am I saying I don't want to be somewhere because I'm just drained? Like I'm absolutely exhausted, but I know I need to be there. Like that's how I kind of look at my life. And in making this shift, and not like I have to be at everything, I have to be at every party, I have to be at every family gathering, I have to. I cut that out and kind of said, what would feel the best for me to be doing all of these things? And is it not going to every single party? Okay, well, where can I kind of scale back, or where can I create space for family in a different way? So maybe if you're going to a ton of like 1 and 2 year old birthday parties and you don't have kids, or like your kids are older, maybe you start saying no to those things, not because you don't want to be there, but because you need to create space for you. And then start to say, okay, you know what, guys, instead of with like having a party with all these other people, like friends and like all this stuff there that we don't really know, let's just have a family barbecue together and kind of get everyone together and see how that works. Because honestly, like this happened for me, and like going to like all the kids' parties and things like that. While the kids had a great time and all that stuff, it was a constant go, go, go feeling for me. And what really mattered was just being with my family and not all of their friends and all of these other people where they were distracted. My family was distracted because they had to kind of be the host and be everywhere. So what made more sense was just to spend a little bit more quality time and to create these different time and space parties with just us where we can really spend a little bit more time. And for me, that's what really mattered. So this card is asking you to do that. It's asking you to understand what really matters the most. Now, listen, maybe this summertime analogy that I'm using is not maybe it's not resonating with you, and I'm getting this message right now. Maybe it's like you have your own business and you've been going and feeling like you need to be doing all the things and working, and what you end up doing is working in your business so much and not on your business's growth. And this is, a huge thing that so many entrepreneurs do. It's something that I really focus on not doing. I'm very conscious of working on the growth of the business, not working in the business and doing the things that I really don't need to be doing. Like recently, I sat down and I said, okay, what do I absolutely need to be doing here? And what can I pay somebody else to do so that I can work on the bigger vision of the business, right? This is how I needed to kind of be that water carrier and really reflect on where does my attention matter the most? Or where can I take one of the incredible people on my team and say, hey, Cecilia, can you please do this because you're better at it than I am anyway? So, things like that really made a big difference in my business, but also think about that in your own life. Like, where can you start giving? Where are you not asking for help? Where could you use a little, like a Cecilia in your life that's saying like, okay, I need help doing this. Who can help me do this? Maybe I'm hiring somebody to do it, or maybe I'm saying like, kids, you don't just run out the door every day. You need to start helping me around the house so that we can all be outside together. You know what I mean? So maybe this is you in your business at this moment, or maybe it's just you in life. Maybe you're just like not in a go, go, go stage, but you're also just not listening to you. And we all do this, right? There's always comes a point when we're not like listening to ourselves, and we need to kind of pause and take that moment to go within and say, okay, what do I actually need right now? What's going to matter? What's going to make me feel good? Because here's the problem. Your challenge is that this is the gentle force. That's what comes up. Okay. It's this gentle force. It's this consistency, this feeling of consistency, persistence, patience, and playing the long game. Because let's say if we use the business perspective, consistency compounds, and consistency compounds not just in business, consistency compounds in everything that you do. But you have to be persistent. You have to create those habits, those really, really good habits, and understand that 10 minutes of your day to take some time and space for you adds up to you if we're playing the long game, to you being more peaceful, to you having a more sense of peace within you, that when it is getting a little bit chaotic in the house, or when life is getting a little bit chaotic around you, that you can still come back to that inner peace and to really feel the sense of calm. Or maybe you're getting upset or getting annoyed, but not as annoyed as you normally would. Or maybe you're not hanging on to it as long because you've created time and space for you to feel good. And that consistency that you created, those really, really good habits, have compounded over time. Right? So, but this isn't your challenge. So your challenge is to keep and maintain that consistent routine, or I'm going to call it a ritual for you. Okay. So it's maintaining that ritual, and it's having patience with yourself, and it's having patience with everyone around you, but also speaking up for yourself. Like, that's the challenge, is you actually saying the words, I need time and space for me. whether that's a 15-minute walk in the morning by myself, no one coming with me. I need time for me, or maybe it's meditation, or maybe it's working out. But because I don't know about you right now, if you have kids that are in school, like this for us, this is our first week of not having the kids in school. And I have to make massive shifts right now that I didn't really think about leading up to it. And I'm like, okay, what am I going to do on Tuesdays when the kids used to be in school and I used to do podcast recordings? Okay, I have to get my husband involved. All right, what could we be doing? And I need to think about the long term. Like can I ask them to leave every single Tuesday so I can do these things? Right. So you can either do one of two things. You can just fall off of all of your good habits that maybe you've created over the past couple of months, or you can get persistent with them. And so your challenge is to get persistent with them. Your challenge is to say, no matter what, this remains and I'm keeping it going. But to keep that consistency. So now that you know that, and I always like to say this in any of my readings that I ever do, now that you know that this is the challenge, well, you can be on the lookout for it. You can kind of set that goal now, because this all comes down to different timelines, right? So your higher self timeline is going to be to make sure that you're staying consistent with the things that make you feel good, that you say you're going to do. That's going to be your highest and best outcome. That's going to be you at your best feeling and working towards that highest and best self. Okay. You falling off the wagon, you getting caught up in the egoic 3D, all the things, is not going to lead to your highest and best timeline. It's going to lead to a timeline. I mean, it's a timeline, but it's going to be a timeline that you're not the happiest with, right? It's going to be a timeline that doesn't really feel good because it's not aligned for you. And forget about July, right? This is literally everything. Like anything that you do in life, it's going to be really important for you to understand what feels good for you, because that is a clue to what is in alignment with your soul, what your soul needs. And when we are not in alignment with our soul is actually when we start to feel not so good about life. Okay. And we start to feel not so good about the things we're doing. And then we're kind of just living on autopilot. So understand that. Understand that your body, your energy, your soul is always giving you clues as to what is in alignment for you. You just have to calm that busyness around you to actually listen to it. Okay, so now you know the energy of July, and now you have some little tips as well in order for you to really move forward and to really have a great month, but also to understand the things that don't feel good for you are a true clue to what is going to really light you up and like bring you down that highest and best self path. Okay, that timeline. All right, last one to culminate all of this energy. Ooh, is to follow the stream. Okay, same energy, dedication. Follow the stream, dedication, trust, future rivers and oceans. So it's trusting that the choices that you're making, if you're making them from a place that feel really good, are going to lead you exactly where you want to go. It's literally everything I just talked about, and I just picked this from the pile. Everything I just talked about. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And now my ear is like ringing. Okay. So thank you for joining me on this episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast. If you love this energy, if you love this reading, you can always book a reading either with me. You can book a reading with Frank or Jenna or anybody that is at Spirit and Soul, with Erica, any one of our teachers. They're absolutely amazing. If you want a little bit more of an in-depth look, we can do them virtual. We can do them in person. I mean, we love receiving guidance. I mean, we read for each other all the time. And it's important to kind of get another perspective as well. If you're reading cards on your own, just be sure that you're doing it from a place that is not biased, okay? That you don't want to like turn it to one way and be like, well, I want it to be like this, okay? That's why it's like great to read your cards, and I think that you should, but you also have to receive some guidance just like you're getting here now. Okay. So definitely book something with us. You can head to spiritandsoulstudio.com and look for our one-to-one services. And then also, if you want to get your hands on the new Healing Waters Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, we have a bunch of them at the shop. You know, I stocked up on my girls' Oracle deck, okay? So we have a bunch. So that's it. I hope that you enjoy them. I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Spirit and Soul podcast.